Okay, we are live. Masonic Courtney's there. Well, hello everyone. Hello, Courtney. Hope you're doing well. Kanair is there. Left Dove, it looks like. So welcome back, Kanair. Thank you for being here, everybody. Started today's stream a little bit late because I was lucky enough to be on a podcast with Core and Black Raven Meditation. So that was really special. I don't know when she'll be releasing it, but I think it will be soon. And when she does, I will make sure to share the link with everybody on all of my socials. But in the meantime, please take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I've got a lot of exciting things happening this week coming up soon. So I'll be talking about that. But as always, the first hour or so, 30 minutes to an hour, is just me hanging out, waiting for people to join and say hello. And then we kind of go from there. I hope everybody, though, is doing well, and I hope that you're having a good April Fool's Day. And I hope that the pranks that potentially are being done are in the spirit of fun and enjoyment. May your pranks be benign yet humorous. But as always, I just want to give it a little bit of time to see who is going to jump on. I did want to say this weekend, I'm looking forward to having another live stream on my personal channel, which will include, which will be a midnight movie watch along, probably going to be Incident in a Ghostland. So, but in the meantime, though, as always, let's give it a bit more time. Let's see who joins, who says hello. Kanair, if you're there, welcome. And also, I will be as well getting ready to host another couple of Patreon only live streams. So if you are a Patreon, you can join either at a paid level or individual level, and you will get another Patreon only live stream where you can interact with me one-on-one directly, and it will be a lot of fun. So in the meantime, let's see who joins us. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Jump in the chat, say hello, and we'll go from there. Welcome. Tomorrow, I'm excited because I've got a ice cream tasting at the Windsor Masonic Temple, so that should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really special, special event. All right, just going to give it a bit of time, see who joins us. We are here to chat about Freemasonry, positive, negative, neutral opinions. Jump in the chat, let me know what they are. I am working on a couple new episodes of the stream as well. So I will let you guys know how that goes. Tomorrow is in the States. They are saying it is going to be Liberation Day, which I guess means the implementation of tariffs. It's funny, I was at the Canada-USA border yesterday morning. I saw some car shipments getting crossed over from the States into Canada. Makes me wonder if that might be potentially the last time we're going to see that. Who knows? Hey, Cameron, I heard April Fool's Day came many years ago when New Year's Day moved from April 1st to January 1st. Maybe that's possible, although maybe that in and of itself is an April Fool's Day joke. Who knows? We shall see. By the way, Dad, I'm looking forward to being back home soon in 3 weeks? Something to that extent. I'm trying to think when exactly. Yeah, April 25th. So, I guess about 3 weeks away, give or take. So that will be a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to it. And I can't wait to celebrate 150 years of Freemasonry in Manitoba. Congratulations to Manitoba on 150 years of Freemasonry. That is absolutely incredible and well worth celebrating. So, as always, though, let's just give it a bit more time, see who else jumps in the chat and says hello. The first 30 minutes to 1 hour, as always, we just spend hanging out, chatting about whatever it is. We want any comments, ideas, thoughts in the stream. And then around the 45-minute mark, we start to talk specifically or talk about specific topics. I was thinking about talking a little bit about Liberation Day tomorrow, and again, the idea of tariffs and how that may or may not affect Canada-U.S. Masonic fraternal relations. But I wonder if that is the case, Dad, that is where April Fool's Day came from. Let's check it out and see. April Fool's Day origin. Some historians suggest that April Fools originated because in the Middle Ages, New Year's Day was celebrated on 25th of March in most European towns. So there you go. It was a lack of news coverage, and some people were unaware of the change and were called fools. Well, that's hardly fair. They can't help it if they're unaware of the. They can't help it if they're unaware of the change because of lack of news coverage. It seems kind of cruel to call them fools, but what are you going to do? People are like that sometimes. Once again, I had a wonderful, wonderful time back in my home, away from home in Chicago and Glenview. I might actually end up having to go back. There seems to be some type of YouTube creator event thing happening in Chicago, which is making me consider going back. But if I were to, it might just be going back for a day. I could see if I could find like maybe an early bus and a late bus. I wouldn't get a lot of sleep those 2 days, but it would still be a lot of fun. Respectful, stay safe, and most importantly, have fun. All good advice. Don't let your pranks get go too far. Obviously, that can become dangerous in and of itself. So but have fun with it. One of my favorite horror movies actually was April Fool's Day, from the 80s, and then there was a remake done in like 2008. It's kind of one of those classic horror films, classic 80s slashers that I think was a lot of fun. But yeah, the YouTube creator event, Creator Collective, is on April 18th. So maybe I'll get a chance to be back in one of my favorite places, back in Chicago. That would be really special. And so I'll let everybody know. In the meantime, I hope everybody's doing well. A lot of exciting things happening in Freemasonry. I know there's a few Grand Lodge annual communications that either are going on or were going on. A friend of mine and friend of the channel, most worshipful brother Cameron Bailey, wrote a great article about funding for Masonic temples through grants. So that's been really special. And I would encourage everybody to check out his Substack. Emeth is called EMETH on Substack. Times of India, Freemasons embrace transparency. Masonic lodges secretive no more opening up. That is from the Times of India. That was from March 28th, 2025. Might be worth sharing during this live stream. I could share it. I'll see if I can share it after. There's nothing wrong with being a fool. Some are smarter than professors. Sometimes that's a classic. What's the word you would use? That's a classic archetype, right? The fool that is actually smarter than the king, or the jester that is smarter than the king. That's been on a few different stories throughout the years. As a prank, what flavored toothpaste did Burger King they launched? Answer Whopper. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to brush my teeth with the Whopper flavored toothpaste. So that is a pretty good prank. By the way, Easter is coming up soon, so I hope everybody potentially is getting ready to have a great Easter with friends and family. Spirit of Justice, knock, knock, knock. 3 knocks, a very Masonic way to introduce yourself, Spirit. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a great April Fool's Day. Let's do this question. Will you play any April Fool's Day pranks? By the way, I had a great interview with Core of Black River Meditation. She's going to post that interview soon. It was great to be part of her podcast. She's been on this channel a few times, many times actually, on these live streams, as well as I did an interview with her, which I really enjoyed. So we will see once that interview is out. I will definitely share it on my socials. Another good reason for you guys to always make sure to follow my social media accounts. But Spirit, I hope that you are doing well. I hope everybody on the stream is doing well. I'm excited because tomorrow I've got a ice cream tasting at the Windsor Masonic Temple, which is going to be lots of fun. Some special flavors, special breakfast themed flavors. So that'll be special. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Seeing some old brothers I haven't seen for a while. So it's going to be a blast. But I hope everybody is doing well. I'm gonna have to go to the lodge today to set up the room for tomorrow, though it shouldn't be too hard, to be honest. It should be pretty simple. Oh, looks like we got some wow. That's a fun sound. Looks like we got some construction happening that just started in the unit next to me. I am staying in so I won't be pranked on. See, Dad is taking the defensive approach to this whole thing. So there you go. Which is one way to do it, that's for sure. Maybe we should do your favorite flavor of ice cream chat question in honor of tomorrow's ice cream tasting at the Windsor Masonic Temple Coffee Club. If you are in Windsor and you want to check it out, 9 a.m. coming through the back doors, Windsor Masonic Temple Coffee Club. I could find this thing. I'm trying to find something quickly that I will be sharing. Let's see. All right, let's give it a bit more time, see who else joins us. As always, the first half hour to 1 hour, I just hang out, talk about anything. Wait for people to jump in the chat to say hello. Then I switch over to specific topics. One thing that was interesting, yesterday, I talked about Ugadi, which is the Hindu New Year, March 30th. Today, I found an article which talked about Freemasonry in India, specifically Masonic lodges opening themselves up more to the public and engaging more with the public, which is actually something I talked about today with Course. So I've been pranked on too many times in the past, especially in my youth. So there you go. Dad has taken the defensive stance. So hopefully, though, you'll be back out tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll be out. Looking forward to being out on the 25th for the Grand Lodge's 150th anniversary in Manitoba. Actually, interestingly enough, I checked yesterday, and it looks like there's about 146 tickets left for the 150th anniversary gala. So if you live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, or you can travel to Winnipeg, Manitoba on April 25th, maybe you can still purchase some tickets for what will be a very fun anniversary gala celebrating 150 years of Freemasonry in Manitoba, Canada. We do have 2 yeses and 1 no to the question of will you play any April Fool's Day pranks. So we got 2 pranksters at least in the chat thus far. What's a book, movie, or song that has had a big impact on me? Well, my favorite movies are Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Nightmare on Elm Street 5. So I'd have to put those 2 at the top. The movie called Bug, which I've talked about a bunch, B-U-G, has had a big impact on me as well, for different reasons. Books, I love a lot of Stephen King books. Well, Don Quixote probably would be the book that had the biggest impact on me. Don Quixote from 15, I forget when. Beyond that, though, the Long Walk by Stephen King, written as Richard Bachman. The Shining, The Colorado Kid, All You Lovely Carried Away. A Simple Plan, actually by Scott Smith, had a major impact on me as well. Song, I mean, my favorite song is Simple Man by Leonard Skinner or Prodigal by Blacktop Mojo. But I do always try as much as I can to try to find wisdom or value or a combination thereof in almost anything. And I think it's really possible to do that. I've talked before about this book, another book that had, book or story that had a big impact on me was Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs by Chuck Klosterman. Early in the introduction, he writes that basically what he writes and says is it's possible to find wisdom anywhere, including wisdom through pop culture and things that many people feel like that many people kind of overlook, and I've kind of always felt the same way. So I think it's possible for almost anything to have a major impact on you in life, including pop culture. So I hope that kind of gave some good answers to those questions, and I appreciate them very much. I hope everybody is doing well. If you're just joining us, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Dad says no better flavor ice cream than vanilla. Well, we're not going to have those flavors tomorrow at the Windsor Masonic Temple. We're going to have breakfast flavored ice creams. So we're gonna have, I think, if I recall correctly, blueberry pancake. Oh my god, I can't think of it now. Blueberry pancake, coffee and donuts, and Lucky Charms flavored, if I recall correctly. So some good excuse me, some good breakfast flavored ice cream, which should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. And again, this goes into an example of just fun things that you can do to make your Masonic Lodge experience more enjoyable. Do an ice cream tasting. Do a coffee tasting. Do whatever it is that you can do to make your experience more enjoyable. I think that's has to be the most important thing, and it's a lot of fun. And so it kind of ties into the coffee club and all that good stuff. So let me know if your Masonic Lodge has ever engaged in any ice cream tasting or things like that. We've done a lot of different types of tastings: ice cream tastings, whiskey tastings, beer tastings, beer and cheese, um, breakfast, as it should be. That's the way I think we should do it. That would make it way more fun. Breakfast ice cream with toast. I suppose, I have actually heard of lodges or not lodges, excuse me, restaurants where they share, where they put ice cream on croissants and ice creams on pastries. So I think that could be a lot of fun. But we'll see. Maybe some guys will do it. Who knows? If they do it, I will make sure to take a picture of the ice cream on the toast so that everybody can see it and we can all debate it in the comments. I mean, I suppose since we're having what would be the best example of ice cream to put on your toast? Blueberry pancake, maybe, because these got blueberry, like blueberry jam. Sadly, I have no idea, Courtney, how any of those things work. I wish that I did. Toast ice cream cones. That is a good idea from my dad. Maybe I'll have to bring in some ice cream cones. What I think I'm going to do for the tasting is bring in a lot of those little tiny spoons and like little cups and use those. Because obviously with an ice cream tasting, you want it to be like relatively small samples. Although knowing Masons, they'll probably just go in for the biggest amounts that they can. So, which is fine. Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with ice cream in the morning either, at least once in a while if you want to have a little bit of fun. But again, this is just an example of what we as Freemasons can do to make our lodge experiences more enjoyable, more unique, more fun. So I'm hoping that everybody considers it and tries out these things. Let me know again if you in your Masonic experiences, your Masonic Lodge, have ever tried anything similar. Could be an ice cream tasting or whatever else it might be. 3 votes. Will you play any April Fool's Day pranks? 2 yeses and 1 no. So there you go. 2 pranksters in the chat so far. Just going to wait to see who else joins us. As always, usually takes about half an hour to an hour for the majority of people to start showing up. So once they do, maybe we'll switch over to specific topics, such as potentially Freemasonry in India, because I discovered some really interesting, a really interesting live stream, or a really interesting news article, I should say, about Freemasonry in India. And so that might be worth exploring. I am just waiting to see who else joins us. I love maple walnut ice cream. All right, maple walnut flavor. We're going with that one. Well, here, let me make this the next poll question, just for fun. Because again, we have the ice cream tasting happening tomorrow. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? We're going to stick with the classics. We're going to go with vanilla, chocolate, add option, strawberry, or other. And if it's an other, let me know what the other is in the chat. By the way, if you're just joining us, please, please hit the like and subscribe button. Not food tasting, but we had a life-saving demonstration. I got to practice using the ADI. That's a great example. I'm a huge fan of Masons knowing first aid. I think when you have a Masonic Lodge, you have, of the 5 senior officers, which I would define as worshipful master, senior warden, junior warden, treasurer, and secretary, I think at least one of them should know first aid, and they should pay for lodge first aid, in my oh so humble opinion. What is my morning routine? I mean, the biggest thing is grabbing coffee first. That is my first thing. I usually check my phone. I probably check it too quickly, to be perfectly honest. I should probably give it a little bit more time. I've heard that it's actually bad for you to check your phone right away. Check my phone, brush my teeth. I don't really have a big morning routine, to be honest. I'd like to have a bit of a better one. But the biggest things I go for right away in the morning is coffee and then checking my phone. Hopefully, though, one thing, tomorrow my routine will start to involve more the Windsor Masonic Temple Coffee Club once again. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But I hope everybody is doing well. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how it is you guys are doing and what it is you want to chat about. Usually it takes about 30 minutes to an hour for the majority of the audience to find us. I was thinking about talking a little bit about Freemasonry in India today, just because I found a really interesting article. But anything you guys want to chat about, I'd love to know more. So jump in the chat and let me know what it might be. And I'll give it a bit of time to see who all jumps in. I am actually going to volunteer at a bingo today with my friend Michelle at, I remember what time, at 6. So I got to finish this stream maybe around 5 o'clock or so, maybe 4:30, because that will give me some time to grab some food. Mine is waking up early, drinking plenty of water. Yes, we should all be drinking plenty of water. You're not going to be a good Mason or an effective Mason if you are dehydrated and unhealthy. Welcome, though. I hope everybody is doing well. Please take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how it is you're doing and what it is that you guys want to chat about. As always, we wait the first half hour to an hour. We just kind of wait to see who joins us, and then we switch over to specific topics. The demonstrator said I was trying hard, but if I had to push harder and faster, yes, you have to push. I've been told that like doing CPR. I don't know. I took first aid, but CPR is very exhausting, especially if you have to do it for a long period of time. That's why I guess in a hospital, if somebody needs CPR, they'll have two people doing it so they can switch back and forth, and they'll go for like 2 minutes at a time, and then switch, and then go for two more minutes at a time. Otherwise, they end up kind of it gets exhausting because I can imagine probably be a pretty good cardio workout. No pun intended. Cardiac workout for you and cardiac workout for the guy getting the CPR, I suppose, or in this case, Annie, the practice dummy. But it's good to have those skills, I think, and I think again, I personally think every Masonic lodge should invest in having at least a couple people learn CPR and know what CPR is. Looks like, by the way, if you're from Windsor, we might get a nice 50 millimeters of rain coming. So be prepared for that whenever it might happen. I guess Wednesday morning over extreme southwestern Ontario before reaching the Golden Horseshoe Wednesday afternoon. So, all right, that's Wednesday morning. Let's hope it's not too terrible, especially because tomorrow morning, that's when we have our ice cream tasting. 80% of success is showing up. I'd agree with that. I think that's very, very true. Don't be afraid or frightened to crack ribs. I would say that's very true as well. I've heard that same piece of advice when it comes to giving CPR. Obviously, this channel is not a medical channel, but nonetheless, I've heard the same thing that when you're giving CPR, you might break ribs. That's okay, because obviously, if you're giving speech, if you're giving CPR, then they can't. If getting the heart pumping is more important, or keeping the heart pumping till somebody gets there is more important than broken ribs, which makes sense to me. So maybe even 85% of success is showing up. Who knows? Certainly it's a big percentage of it. You show up, you try your best, and then kind of whatever happens, happens, right? That's kind of all you can do sometimes is show up and try your best, I think. And not being afraid to fail is also probably pretty important. Sometimes I think with Freemasonry, we're kind of too afraid to fail. Even if we fail, usually somebody else will take our idea, figure out how to make it work, and then make it work from there. So I think that is a very important thing to keep in mind as well. Is how many Friendster failed, but then you had Facebook. So failure is not always a bad thing, especially if somebody else can take your idea and make it more successful. Just going to give it a little bit more time, see who else joins us on this stream. I was thinking, as I said, about potentially talking about Freemasonry in India, which could be a lot of fun to talk about. More specifically, some recent news articles I've seen about Freemasonry in India. right? From 5 days ago, Freemasons embrace transparency, Masonic lodges, secretive no more opening up. New Grand Master of Grand Lodge of India installed. That was in December 8th, 2024. India has the Society for Women Freemasons, which exists in many other places as well. Groups with secrets to welcome public to tourist halls, South Mumbai. So it's neat to see Freemasonry growing. Yes, I would agree with that very much, Courtney. I think when it comes to travel and visitation, visiting Masonic lodges is 100% an excellent way to broaden your Masonic understanding, see new ritual, learn new things about the craft, and hopefully and potentially to grow within the craft. I think all of that stuff is pretty vital. So I hope that people will do that. All right, it's getting a bit more time. Interesting. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? One vote for vanilla, one vote for other. I'm assuming the other is the maple flavor. So there you go. But I talked about that a little with Black Rave Meditation, how important it is to care about and have a broad understanding of Freemasonry by visitation and travel. By the way, I am going to be back to my normal streaming time tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. At least I think I will. I do have a meeting tomorrow at 11 a.m., so that might go a little bit later, but I'm probably going to do it through my phone, through my mobile, instead of, because I don't want to take this with me to the lodge, take all my equipment with me. So, but anyways, yeah, I will be doing that tomorrow. So I hope that you guys will tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Today, I pushed the stream back because I had my interview with Black Raven Meditation and Core, and hopefully you guys will check out that interview. And if anybody is tuned in from Windsor, Ontario, or this area, you are welcome to join the Windsor Masonic Temple Coffee Club tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be having our, amongst other things, we will be having our ice cream tasting at 9 a.m. It'd be a lot of fun. Just bring $2 for a bottomless cup of coffee. And in the meantime, please, if you're just joining us, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I do this every day to chat about Freemasonry. If you have any opinions about Freemasonry, positive, negative, neutral, put them in the chat. Let me know what they are. I'd love to hear from you. And as I was saying, I was thinking of today discussing Freemasonry in India because I found some interesting recent articles. But as always with these streams, if anybody has anything else they'd rather talk about, I can do my best to try to answer them. I have been a Mason since 2007. I can only provide, information for myself based on my perspectives. But hopefully, I do think since I've been a Mason since 2007 and since I've been super active within the craft, hopefully I can at least provide some insights that might assist you. Or might provide some different knowledge or different understandings of Freemasonry and what it is. But as always, I do want to give it a little bit more time to see how many other people we have joining us. And by the way, there is our election coming up April 28th. So if you're in Canada, let me know if you're planning to vote or not. I'd be really curious to know that as well. April 28th is the big day. I wonder how many, this is going to seem like a weird question, but I wonder how many Masonic buildings act as voting stations or polling stations. Probably quite a few. It would be worth actually checking that out during election time. In Canada, in the States, around the world, how many Masonic buildings end up being used as polling stations? I know oftentimes it is Masonic, churches are used or town halls are used. I'm very lucky, at least for the provincial election, my polling station was right here in the building itself. So I thought that was great. Made my life super convenient and super easy. Politics used to be a pretty major part of my life, to be honest. Not so much anymore. But there was a time when politics was a pretty important part of my life. So I wish all the best to all the candidates. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? 3 votes, 1 for vanilla, 2 for other. Well, tomorrow we'll be having our ice cream tasting at the Windsor Masonic Temple, both before and after lodge. So that should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys will check it out. And in the meantime, as always, please hit that like button and subscribe button. I always, every day, people ask me what is my morning routine. One routine I have is usually every morning on Twitter, I'll hit search and type in Freemasonry and see what people are saying about Freemasonry. Sometimes there's some very negative things. I find it's interesting. On Blue Sky, it tends to be more positive opinions when it comes to Freemasonry. When it comes to X, there tends to be more negative views on Freemasonry. So I'm not sure why Blue Sky tends to be the more positive, X tends to be the more negative, but that might be worth studying at some point. I am also working on organizing a few more live streams. So once or not live streams, excuse me, interviews. So once I have those, I will let you know, as always, on social media when they will be and what they will be. So keep checking live stream or my live streams and my social media for all that good stuff. Cameron, does your lodge tend to have members in one dependent body over the others? I mean, so I'm a member of 3 lodges. Well, I'm a member actually of 5 lodges, technically. So, but the ones that I'm familiar with most, because I attend most, are my local lodges. And yeah, I think what happens is things just kind of cycle. So, what I mean by that is, if you have a couple people in a lodge join one particular appendant body, they might be more, they'll talk about that to others, and then the others will join, and then the others from there will join, and the others from there will join, and it kind of just keeps on going from there. So that's kind of I think that's kind of the nature of what you often see with it. So it's very interesting. And that's true even for Freemasonry itself, like from a cycle. Where in the sense of like, if you're at a workplace and one person joins Freemasonry and he starts talking about it, then a lot of people from that job site or that job or that employer may start joining Freemasonry too, right? It's kind of just human nature to do what the group and what the crowd often does. And you see that with Freemasonry as well. And again, in my lodge, a lot of them tend to go more the Scottish Rite route for no reason in particular, other than once upon a time, one person joined and then it kind of just grew from there. So So yeah, and I think, I mean, that's also true. That's also why I think pattern-wise, patterns can be so hard to break, especially if it's a negative pattern, a doom spiral, as they call it. And that does also happen a little bit in Freemasonry. As you see more and more, the more people leave a lodge, the more people leave the lodge. You kind of run into that problem, where it can be very hard to turn things around if things start to go in a certain direction. But all you should do is try your best. I came across a really interesting article about Winston Churchill's eulogy of Neville Chamberlain, and he kind of talks about that, which I thought was really fascinating, where he he talks about this idea of, like, you can't always know how things will turn out or what people will think of you or the choices you make. So all you can do is kind of act as your conscience directs you, act as you believe is best, and proceed from there. And I think there's a very valid point to that. Dennis, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dennis. I hope that you are doing well. Let me know if you were one of the people who voted in our favorite ice cream flavor poll. We have 4 votes, 1 for vanilla, 1 for chocolate, 2 for other. The reason I ask is tomorrow the Windsor Masonic Temple and our coffee club is hosting an ice cream tasting, which is going to be a blast. So it's just an example of the fun things that Masonic lodges can do to try and support their lodges and their brethren. By the way, let me know, Dad, if your Masonic lodge decides to go with the massage treatments I was talking about, getting the Robertson College students in to give massages, which I think would be a great idea. Oh, 5 votes. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? 1 for vanilla, 1 for chocolate, 1 for strawberry, 2 for other. So that's interesting. I would go with the other myself personally. So we shall see. But thank you, everybody who's joining us. As always, waiting for more people to join. I think my main topic today will be Freemasonry in India. I found some really interesting articles, which I kind of want to read, that are relatively recent. But if you're just joining us, as always, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let me know how you're doing and what it is that you want to talk about. And I hope everybody is having a great day. I am most excited about, for me, what I'm most excited about right now is Manitoba and 150 years, and I cannot wait to be back for their gala celebration. The master of our lodge is a master potentate of Shriners last year. Yeah, which is, so he's a busy guy as well. But credit to him for being part of it and all the work he's putting in. I had an absolute blast visiting Kilcona Lodge. So I hope to, like I said, I can't wait to be back. So it's going to be really special. Maybe I should share this. I just found this article on Twitter. Beware these top 6 demons in Freemasonry. I don't know what the top 6 demons in Freemasonry are, but I suppose I should learn. Probably be helpful to learn since I'm at the Masonic Lodge and with Freemasonry so much. I guess I should know what top 6 demons I am facing. Cyber Traveler X is some interesting things to say as well. It's funny. I just discovered, and I fell for an April Fool's Day prank today. Let me show you what it was. The place at which I am going to get my ice cream, they do new flavors every month. And let me see if I can find. So it's Frost Ice Cream Company, which, by the way, everybody should support. If you live in Windsor, they are on Ottawa Street. But this was the April. Rondo Ellsworth, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here, Rondo. As always, it is a pleasure to have you join us. Truly appreciate you being here. So this was April Fool's Day joke I fell for. This was on Instagram. Frost Ice Cream Company, April flavors. We've got caramelized onion and carrot, sardine, mustard covered olives, gorgonzola raisin, dill pickle sorbet. So when I first saw that, I thought to myself, those are some interesting ice cream flavors they've got. But no, I should have caught on April 1st, April Fool's Day. The actual flavors, in case anybody's curious, that they have for April are carrot cake, malted egg, salted caramel pretzel brownies, mint patty latte, charred pineapple lime sorbet. I may go with the mint patty latte, to be honest. Latte. But there you go. And in case anyone's curious, the flavors we're going to have for the ice cream tasting at the Windsor Masonic Temple tomorrow morning, I went with ones that were breakfasty. So I went with Lucky Charms, good old breakfast cereal, blueberry maple pancakes, coffee and donuts, and maybe I will also get the one of the where is it? One of the took a while. One of the mint patty lattes too, because latte, that sounds breakfasty to me. But yeah, I hope that if nothing else, stuff like this helps Masonic lodges realize that they can take part in different types of events and organize different things. It doesn't always have to be like, you can have fun at your Masonic meetings and try new things and try different things. And that is something really enjoyable. So I hope that everybody is doing well. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing. And as always, what it is that you want to talk about. And Rondo, Dennis, let me know if you voted and what it is that you voted on. Oh my gosh, Cameron, any idea why most Masons never return to lodge? Upon leaving their first time, just read up on it. That is a question and a half. Here's the simplest answer, but the one that has the most truth to it, honestly, is because they don't have to, right? People chocolate, any other response is nonsense. They go. So in my experience, people will, if something is important to somebody, they will do what is necessary to maintain it, but they will not go above and beyond that. And this is, again, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for those people who leave. So for example, if being a Mason is important to me, But in order to maintain that status and my membership, what's required of me is I pay $100 a year to $200 a year in dues, and I get to maintain my membership. Then that is what I'm going to do. If I have to do that plus attend 2 meetings per year, that is what I will do, right? People will default to the minimum very often in their lives. And that's true for work as well. Like, go to anybody's job and say, we will pay you X amount per year. They will figure out, okay, how little can I do at this job and still without getting fired? But they're not going to go above and beyond. And in Freemasonry in North America, unfortunately, the expectations we set are so limited, relatively speaking, to just pay your dues. And as a result, many people who join because they like the idea of having the title of Freemason, but don't necessarily want to put in a lot of work. I mean, if they don't have to show up, they're not going to show up. If they have to show up twice a year, they will likely show up twice a year. You see that in the Philippines, for example, where they're showing up because they have to. The other things are to keep in mind as well is they are joining, and this comes to the idea of the West Gate and all that. People are joining or becoming Masons not because they want to contribute to something, but because they want some type of benefit. When people ask me now, what can you get from Freemasonry? My response, honestly, is nothing. Freemasonry, it doesn't give you anything, but rather what Freemasonry does is it gives you the opportunity to fight for a better world. And fighting for a better world is hard and it's challenging, but Freemasonry gives you that opportunity, and that's what it gives you. So you should join not because you want to get something from it, but because you want to contribute to making the world a better place. But a lot of people, they join because they want to get something from it, whatever that might be. And if they find they're not getting it, they'll stay because it's so cheap. It's $100 to $200 a year usually to be a Mason. So they'll keep paying their dues because sometimes out of just inertia, or they'll be a life member and they will, if they're a life member, they've paid once a lump sum. So there's no financial benefit in walking away. So they'll just keep their membership and never show up. In a Masonic context, what is work? I think. By the way, Rhonda, I'll get to your question because it's a great question. Just noting though, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? We got 2 for vanilla, 2 for other, 1 for chocolate, 1 for strawberry. Sorry, Rondo, your chocolate answer is actually not doing so well right now. It's tied with strawberry at the lowest. In a Masonic context, what is work? I mean, I think work in a Masonic context as this is the same as work in a non-Masonic context, right? It is just those things to which you put in sustained effort. So memorization of ritual is work. Answering your summons is work. Cleaning the lodge is work. Showing up to lodge is work. There's different levels of strenuousness to the work, but I think at the end of the day, it's all work and it's all challenging, and people need to understand that before they join. I also find that most aren't maybe fit for Freemasonry, says Masonic Courtney. Well, that goes back to a lot of things that I've been saying in the past. I do suspect there are certain personality types that are more what's the word I'm looking for? More fit to be Freemasons, are more likely to enjoy Freemasonry, are more likely to want to not just have the title of Freemason, but actually be engaged in Freemasonry. I strongly suspect that might be the case. And I think one of the ways to test for that might be through personality testing. I don't know for sure, but I am starting to suspect that if we were to give a personality test to all Masons who are engaged, or active. And I would define that as as attending at least 2 meetings per year, you would see certain common traits amongst their personalities that we could potentially test for with future applicants. I don't know for sure, but there's got to be some type of, like, what does it mean to be a good fit for Freemasonry? What type of person or personality is a good fit for Freemasonry, right? How do you test for that? Is it possible to test for that? Actually, I'm going to make that the next poll question because that's a really good way to describe it by Courtney. All right. Hopefully I'm back. Sorry about that. If looks like my internet connection got a little bit funky there. I'm not sure why. The internet's been a pain in the ass or pain in the butt for me all day. So I'm working on it. Can you test for a good fit for Freemasonry? 3 votes, all 3 saying yes. So I wrote about that on Medium, actually. So I hope you guys will check that out on my Medium channel. Let me know maybe if you want to, what you think a good test for Freemasonry might look like. Thank you, everybody who has joined so far. I truly appreciate it. Please take a moment, if you are just joining, to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know how you're doing and what it is you want to talk about. And April Fool, maybe my computer is playing April Fool's Day pranks on me. Who knows? I would not be surprised at all if that was the case. I'm going to give it a few more minutes to see if anyone else jumps back on. Can you test for a good fit for Freemasonry? And if you are answering yes, let me know what you think that test might look like. I think the test might be personality testing. It's not perfect, but I don't know necessarily what the answer might be to that question. And it's tough. A lot of people are struggling trying to figure out what these answers could be. Because you have to define fit and all that, but got to be something that we can do. Some people have been saying, I've read some articles. People are saying that they think Freemasonry, based on the numbers, will cease to exist by 2040. I don't think that's the case. I certainly hope and pray that's not the case, but I can understand where the concerns are for people. If you look at the numbers, they're not going up. And so they're not going up in terms of overall membership. They are also not going up in terms of just general involvement or engagement amongst the members. So we need to keep that in mind, and hopefully, though, keep working and trying our best to solve these problems. It's really hard, though. It's really, really hard. And I certainly give my greatest respect to anybody who is trying to make things better, because I know how hard it is. Can you test? So we're going to give it another, because I had that kind of stream crap out for a second. I am going to give it a few more minutes for people to join before I start on any specific topics. A few more minutes for people to potentially answer some of these questions or answer the poll question. But let me know in the meantime how everybody is doing. Hit the like and subscribe button. I do these streams every Monday through Friday, normally at 1 p.m. Eastern, to discuss Freemasonry, the good, the bad, positive, negative views on it. Sometimes, though, I will do later streams. Like today, I started at 2:30 Eastern. Gave me a chance to take part in an interview with YouTube channel Black Raven Meditation and my good friend Core. So that was a lot of fun. But thank you, everybody who's joined so far. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's ice cream tasting. If you are from Windsor, Essex area, maybe you can join us for some delicious ice cream. It'll be a lot of fun. 9 a.m., Windsor Masonic Temple. Come in through the back doors. Going to give it a bit more time. We're going to see who else joins us. Like I was saying, I have found some really cool news articles about Freemasonry in India. I talked about India and Freemasonry a couple of days ago because it was Ugadi, which was the Hindu New Year. But let's give it a bit more time, see if anybody else joins us. And thank you to everybody who's joined us so far. Truly appreciated. A lot of new subscribers, so that is also truly appreciated. The poll question, can you test for a good fit for Freemasonry? 3 votes. All 3 are yeses, so thank you so much for that as well. Everybody is doing well, as always. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Let me know how it is you guys are doing and what it is you want to chat about. All right, I think maybe what I'll do then is I will, because I do have to run today a little bit maybe earlier than normal, maybe switch it over and talk about, again, Freemasonry in India, because I found this really interesting article. Freemasons embrace transparency, Masonic lodges secretive no more, opening up. This was from the Times of India, dated to March 28th, 2025. Any mention of Freemasons and their century-old colonial Masonic lodges conjures up images of a secretive cult society that adheres to a dress code. Right there, it's super interesting, but there are many Masonic lodges that do not adhere to dress codes. In Ontario, we do. Many in North America do not, or have very, shall we say, limited dress codes. So, oh, sorry, Dennis, I missed your comment there. Say you did test. What would the first 3 questions be? Good question from Dennis. Well, I mean, so I would use, so my suspicion, what I would probably use would be like a Briggs-Meyer test of some sort. Like I talk about it. Let me see if I can find it now. Stories. Oops, sorry. Just trying to pull it up now. So, for God's sakes, I can't. Taking me longer than I'd like. There we go. Pulling it up. Give me one more second, Dennis. I appreciate the question. Trying to track it down now. Here it is. So I would probably, I mean, I'm suspecting I would probably use I think the Briggs Meyer, like the 16 personality type. So the first three questions would be, let me just, well, maybe we can take the test out of curiosity. Maybe we could do that with you guys. They start talking about Freemasonry in India. Not that I don't want to talk about that, but the first three questions. Question number one. This is the 16 personalities test here. I'll give it a couple minutes for it to pop up so you guys can see it. Once you guys can see it, let me know in the chat. There it is. I think it popped up now. So this would be the first question, right? Because this isn't specific to Freemasonry. What we're trying to find is personalities that may be more attuned to or may enjoy Freemasonry more, and if there's commonalities. So the first, you regularly make new friends. You know, if I was taking this, I would agree. Dennis, it's too small. I'm not sure why. It's appearing pretty big on my screen. I'll see if I can try to read out the questions for you. So first question, you regularly make new friends. Which I hit the semi-agree. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I guess I would agree, but again, more in the middle. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments. I think so. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. I'd put this more on the disagree side. You usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure. I mean, I like to think I do. Who knows? You find the idea of networking and promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. No, I disagree with that. I enjoy promoting myself. Square and Compass promotions. Are there any famous Canadian Freemasons? John Diefenbaker, John A. Macdonald would be two former prime ministers. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. I think so. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers and data. I think you need both kind of equally. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. I mean, I suppose I do, but I can move things around. You and a small mistake because you doubt your abilities, disagree. So this would be the test. So those would be the first kind of series of questions, Dennis. And then if everybody takes these and you start to see certain common traits show up, might it be worth testing for those in a Masonic candidate? You can learn more about it, actually, Dennis, at this link here. So you can check out that link if you'd like. I hope that you will. Welcome, by the way, if you're just joining us, please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know how it is you're doing and what it is that you guys want to chat about. I talk about Freemasonry on this stream every Monday through Friday. In this case, we were talking about, well, a few different things. Ice cream tasting I'm having tomorrow, as well as a few different special events. The importance of having special events, testing for a Masonic fit, whatever that means, and then switch it over to Freemasonry in India. Many Masonic lodges in India are now opening this up to the public for tours and special events, which is really cool. But if you're just joining, welcome. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing and what it is that you want to talk about. If you have any opinions on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear what they might be. Right, there are a lot of people out there who have more negative views on Freemasonry, which is fine. I'm still happy to talk with you about those views and what your thoughts are. And we'll give it a bit more time, see who else answers our poll questions, see who else has any comments they want to put in the chat. I hope, Dennis, I gave you at least some idea of the type of questions we might ask for whatever it might be worth. hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing. And if you are just joining us, what it is that you want to talk about. This weekend, I'm probably going to do another one of my midnight movie watch-alongs once again, just for fun on Saturday night. That's on my personal YouTube channel, not this one. But I like to do stuff on as many different channels as I can. I think that's a lot of fun. So hit like, hit subscribe. Let me know how you guys are doing and what it is that you guys want to talk about. Any questions you have about Freemasonry, good, bad, indifferent. Clearly, it is April Fool's Day because once again, I got stuck with an unstable connection. I have no idea why or what's going on with that. I've got to figure that out. Maybe tomorrow I'll switch it back over to just doing my live stream on my phone. Maybe my computer needs an update. Who knows? But welcome, everybody. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. We are here chatting about Freemasonry. Let me know what your thoughts are on Freemasonry. It could be positive, could be negative, could be neutral. I would love to know kind of what your thoughts are. I was talking about Freemasonry in India. A lot of Masonic lodges in India are looking at opening up their buildings to get more of the public involved. There was an article March 28th, 2025 about that. So I think that would be really, really cool. And I hope that Masonic lodges here in North America potentially take on the same ideas or the same idea anyways, and start exploring some of these things as well. Just going to give it a bit of time, see who else jumps on the chat to say hello. Who or what were the 6 demons? I don't know. I have no idea. I just saw that, Dennis, on when I typed in Freemasonry into the Twitter machine, into X, and searched what people were posting. One of the first things that popped up was a post that said, "Know the 6 demons of Freemasonry," and then a link to a YouTube video. So I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but maybe I will. I should probably know what they are since I'm so active in Freemasonry. Might be worth trying to explore and learn what they are. Who knows? Or maybe get in touch with the guy who posted that video and talk to him about what his where his ideas are coming from, where his videos are coming from, all that good stuff. Might be worth exploring that as well. So who knows? But once I know, I will let you know, Dennis. Maybe I'll talk about that on my live stream tomorrow. If people have negative views on Freemasonry, they don't know what they are missing out on. I agree with that. I think I agree with that 100%. Right. Well, it's okay to have, like, you can think whatever you want to think about Freemasonry, I suppose, but they definitely don't know, and they don't have to join or anything like that, but they definitely, I would say, don't know the benefits that Freemasonry has for the membership or the communities as a whole. In my oh so humble opinion. I hope everybody, though, is doing well. In the stream, if you get the chance, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing and what it is you want to talk about. Hopefully, my stream gets a little bit better. It's been being a pain in the butt the last couple times, so hopefully it stops crumbing out. I will be, because I do have to help a friend out tonight. I'm volunteering to help him out at a bingo, so I may have to be taking off soon. because I have to grab some food and stuff and take care of some errands before the bingo and get ready and organize everything for tomorrow's ice cream tasting. So let me know once again if there's anything you guys want to talk about in the chat. Let me go back to Freemasonry in India one more time. So Freemasons embrace transparency, Masonic Lodge, secretive no more, opening up. Any mention of Freemasons and their centuries-old colonial Masonic lodges conjures up images of a secretive cult society that adheres to a dress code and meets behind closed doors. But that misconception is fast fading, says Brother Jonathan Spence, Pro Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England, who is on his maiden visit to Nagpur, a city with over 700 Freemasons of different Grand Lodges. We are all about serving society through different charitable initiatives. We didn't talk about it openly, but now that's changing, said Brother Spence. The different lodges in both India and abroad are becoming more visible through public events and open houses. In Nagpur, the Corinth Lodge, built in 1904, held its first open house in 2022, so almost 120 years, allowing a rare glimpse to walk-in visitors of their inner sanctum. Members, called brothers within the lodges, give a guided tour and answer queries. Such openness seems to be part of a genuine effort from Freemasons to chart a new course vis-a-vis their public perception. Another important change ushered by some lodges is that they're no longer an old boys club. Brother Spence said, we now have, even in India, many lodges that are women only. Then there are lodges that are both men and women as members. From kings to business tycoons to presidents to janitors, I should mention, to custodians, to everybody in between, Freemasons have had as their members the who's who of society. This dynamic is also changing as more and more common folk are joining the ranks. India is said to be home to over 20,000 Freemasons spread over different Grand Lodges, which are separate entities operating independently. Each Grand Lodge may then have its affiliated lodges located in different cities. Slowly but steadily, the membership is rising, Brother Spence said. All our districts in India are growing in membership. In the Caribbean and South America, we have also witnessed growth, which is wonderful to see, by the way. When it comes to what Freemasons believe in, one thing is clear: they do not subscribe to any specific religion. Freemasons believe in a supreme being whom they credit for all worldly creations, but over centuries, despite different Grand Lodges mushrooming across the globe, one things remain common: Freemasons tread carefully when it comes to religious beliefs. We do not discuss religion or politics in lodge. Our focus is on how to serve society through means available to us. We do a lot of charity through the word we prefer is service. That's what Freemasonry is about, to help everyone around them. Freemasonry has a long history with undocumented origins dating back almost 1,000 years. However, its traceable journey began in England in the early 1700s. From there, the British established Masonic lodges across the world, which is how Freemasonry came to India. In Nagpur specifically, the first Masonic lodge was set up in Kamptee in the 1860s. Due to the inconvenience of commuting to Kamptee for late-night meetings, as many members lived in Nagpur City, a new lodge was established in Nagpur in 1904. While the internet abounds with varied theories, does it ever? Brother Spence emphasizes that they can best be described as an organization that is here to serve society. So it's fascinating to see that in India, they have about 20,000 Freemasons and that it is actually growing, which is wonderful to see. Congratulations to India on an excellent work. Interesting. 4 votes. Can you test for a good fit for Freemasonry? 4 votes, 3 yes, 1 no. Or sorry, 4 yes, no no's. Let me know if you answered yes, what you think the test for a good fit for Freemasonry would be. And can you give it to an applicant before he potentially joins? I'd be very curious to know if you have any ideas of what the tests might be or how they might work. In the meantime, though, as always, if you're just joining us, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing and what it is that you want to talk about. And tomorrow, like I said, I will be doing this. I may be doing this live stream a little bit later than 1:30, and it will likely be on my mobile or cell phone because I'll be doing it after I have a lodge meeting. But it'll be still a lot of fun. So please take a few moments, follow me on social media, and tune in tomorrow around 1 p.m. Eastern for another live stream. And if you're just joining us today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how it is you're doing and what it is that you want to talk about. Did you know that there are about 20,000 Freemasons in India, and that number is growing? So good for India on all of its work. I'm going to give it, let's say, another 5 minutes. Wait and see who else joins before I pack up and get ready to help my friend out tonight, as well as get today I have to pick up the ice cream for tomorrow's ice cream tasting at the Windsor Masonic Temple. So join us, follow me on social media because I'll share the winners of the ice cream tasting. The 3 flavors we've got that I know of right now are blueberry maple pancake, Lucky Charms, and coffee and donuts. So we'll see what I think the 4th flavor might be a latte flavor. As always, high altitude investing. Welcome, high altitude investing. Thank you so much for joining. I had a great interview today with Black Ray Meditation. We mentioned both your channels a couple times. I understand that you're going to be on her channel as well. So that is really, really cool. Spirit of Justice, I don't understand the poll. Well, so I mean, I think that's a really good point as well, because a lot of people, like somebody was asking the question, is there a good, are some people just not a good fit for Freemasonry, right? Not a good fit. Time, define that as you will. And that brought up the question, how would you know if someone is a good fit for Freemasonry? And is it possible to test for being a good fit for Freemasonry before they join? And if so, what would that test look like? I've been talking about it a lot in terms of potentially personality testing and finding if there's certain personalities that are better fits, quote unquote, for Freemasonry. In my opinion, I think there might be a way to do that using a Briggs-Meyer type of test. But yeah, there's a lot of debate. It kind of fits into this idea of guarding the West Gate, if that makes any sense, and what that actually means or looks like. I'm not sure myself, but I suspect there's something there. Anyways, if you are just joining us, please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I do these streams. Jealousy and envy isn't a good fit. That's true. I mean, how would you necessarily test for that? Test for that, though, is the question, right? Like, because if I ask somebody, are you a jealous or envious person? I mean, I'm assuming they're going to say no, because there's connotations to that, even if they are. And then do you, check out their social media? Do you ask them questions to try to gauge whether they have jealousy or envy, kind of in their hearts? I think that's why I kind of go back to this idea of the Briggs-Meyer personality testing, because those questions are worded in such a way that there's no judgment attached to them or no judgmental ideas attached to them. right? Whether it's positive or negative. So, like, you make friends easily is one of the questions. Well, first, it's a private test, but second, there's no judgment attached to whether you say yes or no. It's just a different personality trait. But at the end of the test, you look at that. Maybe people who make friends easily, it might be make better Freemasons. I don't know. But I think that's worth consideration and worth considering. High altitude investing, though, it's great to have you here. Thank you for being a great friend of the channel. Spirit of Justice, thank you for being here as well. I appreciate you being here as well. And hello to both of you. And like I said, High Altitude Investing has been connecting with a good friend of ours, appearing on each other's podcasts, Wisdom in Christ Foundation, High Altitude Investing podcast. So keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and same to you. It's great to see your work going so well. So, can you test for a good fit for Freemasonry? Interestingly enough, 4 votes, all 4 people saying yes. So, I know a lot of Masonic bodies are really trying to emphasize and push away from what was very common, which was, the time period between an application and initiation being, a couple months, if that, to spending more time with the candidate, which you could argue is kind of like you're testing for their kind of like you're testing for whether a good fit for Freemason or not, a good fit for the lodge or not, but it's not a formal test. It's just hanging out with them, spending time at public events, at social hour, things like that. I don't know if that's the best approach to take. It's tough. It's tough to say. I don't know what the answers are, but I will let you guys kind of decide. And if you did answer yes, as 4 of you did, let me know maybe what type of test it is that you are thinking would work well. Welcome. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. I do these streams every Monday through Friday around 1 p.m. Eastern, where we chat about Freemasonry. Positive, negative, neutral opinions, all of the above. I'd love to hear from you. So please jump in the chat, say hello. I think testing is important, not always with a form or test, although that can be useful, but asking them the right open-ended questions and gauging their responses and interests and intentions. I think that's a really good way to look at it. You could argue, what is the application process, if not in and of itself a kind of test, right? Or kind of a way to test if somebody is or is not a good fit for Freemasonry. I mean, I think hopefully that's what the application process should be, as opposed to sometimes what it is, which is, do they have money and can they pay their dues? Which I guess in that case, you're testing whether they'll be financially stable, part of the lodge, but you kind of need more than that. Or hopefully you feel like you need more than that. Welcome. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're brand new to the channel, jump in the chat, say hello. Thank you to Altitude Investing for a very good comment, valuable comment. And yeah, I think absolutely. What is the application process, if not a kind of a test to determine if they are a good fit for Freemasonry? All the knowledge information currently stored on the earth were suddenly erased. What would be the most critical piece of knowledge to reestablish for survival and progress of humanity? I mean, you'd have to go back to the beginning, right? So first, the ability to create fire, then the ability to create the wheel. Well, I guess so. You'd have to just start from scratch. So the first thing would be, well, I mean, do we still have the buildings? Like, is it? like the internet and all the books are destroyed, but people's memories are still adept, because then they could just rewrite everything. Yeah, I think Dennis is what I'd go with. What Dennis is saying: shelter, fire, water. You kind of just have to start at the beginning. Maybe the first thing you'd see would be our stonemasons relearning how to build stone tools. But if you keep the buildings and stuff, then you're kind of keeping a certain level of knowledge. It'd be more a matter of if we developed some type of massive amnesia and forgot everything. How would we then? And all the buildings went away and everything else. How would we then react? And I think the answer would be just like what Dennis said: shelter, fire, water. Maybe our stonemason cousins would be particularly important at that point, because they would be the ones to create the stone tools. The wheel, fire, how to purify water so we don't, get gastrointestinal diseases, all that good jazz. But as always, if you are just joining us, please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. I believe, have to jump off shortly because I got to get ready for my ice cream tasting tomorrow. Follow along on social media. I will be sharing all of the flavors of ice cream we're having at the Masonic Temple, how wonderful I'm sure they all taste, all that good jazz. It's cool that all the Masonic tools for measurement and stonemasonry also used. I agree. I think that is really, really cool. And that's why on the podcast, I always try to not just talk about ancient knowledge, but how the ancient knowledge is used in modern times. So, for example, Euclid. Why is it that a Greek mathematician and geometrician from 300 BC has his name attached to the Euclid space mission in 2025? What is it about his ancient knowledge that exists today? Ice cream tasting, I'm jealous. That's right, Spirit. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but follow me on Instagram, Square. Let me just. Instagram.com/square. Let's see. Underscore compass promotions for more information. But yeah, we're doing an ice cream tasting tomorrow. We're doing it at 9 o'clock during the coffee club, and then again after our lodge meeting, and people can vote on their favorite coffees. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing breakfast type flavors, so it's going to be Lucky Charms, blueberry maple pancakes, coffee and ice cream, so coffee and donuts, and one more flavor, which I haven't decided yet. So that is going to be a lot of fun and something I'm looking forward to. And again, it goes to show, if you're a Mason, if you belong to a Masonic lodge, there's a lot of fun things you can do to make your lodge experience more enjoyable. And I hope that you guys will consider them. Ice cream tastings, beer and cheese tastings, whiskey tastings. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope that everybody will keep those things in mind. And Spirit, if you ever do anything exciting at your lodge in relation to this, or just exciting events and fun events, please let me know what they are, because I would love to know what you guys are up to. I love to share information about what is happening with different Masonic lodges and Masonic bodies and Masonic groups around the world, really. What are your thoughts on the pyramid stuff underground? It sounds like it's a scam to me, or it sounds like it's baloney to me. I looked, it doesn't look like any reputable sources are reporting it. All the stuff I've seen seems to imply that it's pretty much baloney. I mean, I think it's interesting, and I'm not 100% dismissing it. Certainly, I think we as Freemasons should care about ancient Egypt, but I haven't seen enough reputable sources reporting on it to buy it. If you're talking about the 8 cylinders found underground, something to that effect, um, yeah, I am finding it highly questionable. Put it that way. But I actually did do an interview with an Egyptologist, so that was a lot of fun. But as I talked a little bit on my stream. If as I learn more about it, I will let you know more about it as well, or talk more about it. I think the issue is they said they used some type of special sonar to penetrate the sand to find them, but the sonar they were talking about wouldn't work that way, or wouldn't be able to find the results that they said that it would. To my knowledge. To my knowledge. But if anybody else knows anything about the pyramid stuff underground that I do not know about, please let me know. Jump in the chat. Oh, interesting. Can you test for a good fit for Freemasonry? 5 votes, all 5 saying yes, which I'm very surprised by because in my experience, usually that ends up being a no. Most people seem to be most Masons, especially older Masons, seem to be allergic to the idea of testing for a good fit for Freemasonry. So the fact I got 5 yeses, I do find that really interesting. Maybe worth exploring more. I suppose we'd have to. I never really thought of that. We're not making it that official, Dad. That we're going to make them rinse their mouths out. So, I don't think we need to make it that official. But maybe if you could instantly understand any language, what would you do with that ability? That's a good. I mean, I would. I would want. So the language I would pick would be Spanish, so I could then read Don Quixote in the original language in order to better understand it, because I think you do lose something with translations, unfortunately, for better or worse. So I'd love to read my favorite book in its original language. I think that would be a lot of fun. Try to look up the drawing by Da Vinci of the pyramid. Leonardo da Vinci. I assume that is to whom you are referring. Let me see. Da Vinci pyramid. The Da Vinci pyramid refers to the Louvre's inverted pyramid, a prominent architectural feature of the Louvre Museum in Paris, which gained notoriety due to the appearance in Dan Brown's novel, The Da Vinci Code, where it's speculated to hold a secret chamber beneath, potentially containing certain remains. I see the image here. Pyramids of Light. I remember reading about that actually in the Da Vinci Code, so that's really cool. But I mean, I don't know if that proves or disproves the findings, because if anybody had access to those pictures or could see those pictures, the one I'm talking about has writing in the top right corner. I'll have to search for it because I can't. I'm looking right now in Google Images. Oh, I see one with writing in the top left corner, light field history, light field forum. Who invented the concept of the light field? But that's not a pyramid. That's the idea of light traveling. I will have to look it up, Dennis, and see if I can find it, or if you can send it to me through a message. Once again, let me just. Square and Compass Promotions. I hope that you will maybe message me through Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Message me there. Let me know. What it would be great to learn more about that, because I'm not sure. But it's square_and_compass_promotions. All right, I'll wait for a second. I'll see if I can go to my Instagram. And check it out. By the way, I've been getting a few more people following me on Instagram, so thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. For everybody who follows me on all my different locations, including, but not limited to, Instagram. It seems that I'm lucky enough to be growing on there, and I really do appreciate it. 7 people watching. Thank you so much. 7 likes. Thank you so much for that as well. As always, if you are just joining us, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button and let me know what it is that you guys want to chat about. I do these streams every Monday through Friday, usually around 1 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing it probably from my phone, because I'm going to be busy with Masonic meetings and Masonic events, and I might not have time to do the full microphone setup, so I'll use my phone. And yeah. I'm just going to give it a few minutes for Dennis potentially to join. He said, I think he's just looking up a picture. He's going to send it to me through Instagram. And as always, all right, I'm going to give this let's say another 10 minutes. That means I'll be on for about 2 hours, which has been a great stream. I'm just waiting to see if Dennis can send this rough sketch, the Da Vinci drawings of the pyramids. As Freemasons, we should definitely care about the pyramids and ancient Egypt and all of that good stuff as well. So. All right. And as always, like I said, follow me on social media, and nothing else. You can maybe vote on what you would pick as the favorite ice cream flavor at tomorrow's ice cream tasting. The flavors, once again, will be blueberry maple pancake, coffee and donut, which is going to be my favorite. I'm sure it will, because I love coffee. I love anything coffee flavored. Lucky Charms, and one more, which I think might be a latte. No worries, Dennis. I appreciate you looking. In the meantime, I still hope you can at least follow me on Instagram, and maybe we'll look for it tomorrow. Being at the Mason scene, you're at the forefront of knowledge. Would you agree? I mean, I wouldn't. There are many different ways to be at the forefront of knowledge. Being a Mason in and of itself, certainly if it's just a matter of you have the title, but you don't really attend laws or research anything or are active, then I don't think being a Mason inherently gives you access to the forefront of knowledge. If you're a Freemason, you take it seriously and you try to learn what it is and how it works, then I 100% think you can be at the forefront of knowledge. I mean, we as Freemasons are reminded to make daily advancements in Masonic knowledge, whatever that means. So I think it's important, but again, it's like your knowledge will increase based on how much work, effort, time you put into things. So that is something you absolutely need to keep in mind, that it's not just the title that matters. It's the work you're willing to put in to it. That's what will matter. That's what will make make things a success, right? If that makes any sense at all. So being a Mason doesn't put you at the forefront of knowledge. Being an active and engaged Mason will put you closer to the forefront of knowledge. In my humble opinion. All right, let's give it just a few more minutes to see if anybody else jumps on the chat to say hello. Otherwise, we will end this stream today, but we will be back tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow's stream. I'll let you guys know who won the taste testing contest for the ice cream, etc., etc. We're all in search of something. I agree with that. It's hard to disagree with that one. Hopefully, though, you find what you are searching for, and hopefully it is a good thing and something that brings you joy and happiness. I think is kind of all you can ask for. All right, so like I said, let's give it another 5 minutes. Just see if anyone jumps on at the last minute to say hello. Tomorrow we will be, like I said, doing another live stream, probably from my phone, probably a little bit later than usual. But once I know, you just pay attention to the socials, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and you will see it as soon as I'm up. But hopefully, for anybody out there who's a Mason, for whatever it is you're searching for, hopefully you're able to find it through Freemasonry. Not exclusively through Freemasonry. There's lots of different ways to find things, but hopefully Freemasonry is one of the things that helps you find what you are searching for. And that was my cat sneezing. Hopefully Bandit's okay. All right, looks like we are at our dad is taking off. I believe I will be taking off in a second too. Once again, unless anybody else can jump on and wants to say hello. Thank you, Courtney, for being here. Dad, I will see you. Well, I mean, maybe tomorrow at the live stream, but I'll see you soon enough. I'll be back home soon enough. Dennis is taking off as well. Thank you, Dennis, for letting me know about the Da Vinci picture. I will look for it, and as soon as I can find it, or if I can find it, I will let you know. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope everybody is doing well. Please, as I'm leaving, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all soon. All right, bye.